Welcome to the Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva, and today we're going to get some insight into financial aid and gift for college. My guest today is Wayne Weber. He is the president, CEO, and founder of Gift of College. And welcome to the show.
Hi, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So, usually I start my guests where they went to college. So, where'd you go to school?
Well, I always knew I wanted to go to college as I was going through the course of school. And my dad kind of looked at me one day and said, "Well, cool. What do you want to do? What's going on?" And I was like, "I don't know." So dad smartly said, "Cool, there's these things called community colleges. Let's start there." So I started at Elgin Community College, which is in the northwest suburbs of Chicagoland, in Illinois. And I spent 2 years there where I actually had an amazing time, learning what higher education was going to be all about, and learning what I liked, and learning the things that got me to smile versus the things that I knew were going to be tougher. So it was a really good choice for me. And after 2 years, I transferred on to Northern Illinois University in Illinois, where I went on and got a bachelor's degree and specialized in marketing. Went down that path. Knew really from some of the classes I took in community college, that sent me on my direction for my 4 year. It was, I think, a much easier path of, instead of landing at the university and figuring it out there, which I think my dad's point was, it's an expensive place to figure it out. I went there. So yeah, graduated from Northern Illinois University.
So let's just go back in time a little before we get into what you're doing. So when did you start thinking about going to college? Was it freshman year of high school, senior year? When did it all begin for you?
Probably as soon as the delusion goes away, like, yeah, whether you think you're going to be a professional athlete or a movie star or whatever that is as a kid. For me, it was probably more like middle school. I thought, like, college seems like the right path. I had one of my sisters that's about 10 years older than me, went off, and I watched that happen. And she went on to become a teacher and then get her MBA. And so I saw that happen as well. Well, I was pretty young. So, and she was kind enough to bring me up to her college campus, which, lo and behold, was Northern Illinois University. So, I kind of got that feeling as a little kid of, wow, look at this big place where I guess young adults go off to. But yeah, I was young. It was probably I would say middle school, or earlier. I knew that college was something that may lead to bigger and better things. My dad definitely talked about it as well.
So tell me, you have a unique situation that you went through compared to a lot of people that have been on the show. Community college to college. Give me a sense, and to the viewers that are watching, give me a sense of what you went through at the community college compared to the years at the university.
Yeah, I went to a great community college. It's huge, first of all. So you were still placed onto this big environment where you had to learn your independence. You had to learn your way around. You had to learn that you may have to get all the way across campus and you can't be late for your next class. So, you've learned all the independent things of college, minus the living, on campus. So for me, it was the independence of uh, keeping a job. I worked part time through pretty much all of college. I had a part time job, and that was through my 4 year college as well. Um, but I think the main difference was uh, you weren't living at home, right? Once you went off to 4 year, you're not most of the time you're not living at home. You take that completely independent, from living to every component of it. Where I think community college offers a transition, especially if you didn't really know what you wanted to do. So, for me and my family, it was easier. It was, live from home a little bit longer. And I wanted to get off, onto a campus or wherever as soon as possible. But I look back at the main difference that, especially today, looking back, 20 years later, look 20 something years later, looking back today, I'd say the main difference is money.
Mhm.
It really is. I have what I consider a great education from great teachers and professors over the years, from community college all the way through university, that helped me develop skills to come to where I am. The main difference is the first 2 years cost thousands and thousands of dollars less. And fast forward to today, I think it's a good option. I think community college is probably one of the best financial moves you can make in the grand scheme of college, because today it could save tens of thousands of dollars.
So you graduate from the community college, and then you
Yep.
go to the university. Do you have 2 years, or did you lose some classes? Uh,
No, so the whole process took me 5 years, and that was on me. I worked part time. A lesson for everyone: look at those credit hours early. Your counselors may tell you early on to try another class or take this, or you're in the first couple weeks, so if this isn't the right thing for you, you could hop out of that. I hear all sorts of things today. But every time you're not in a semester with about 5 classes, you're not going to graduate in 4 years. And I think that's another big mistake that families make. The college savings industry makes. We help people plan for college, which is a 4-year experience. Today, the average graduate graduates in more than 5 years. So yeah, so I think that's a piece of it too, is understanding that. I don't think community college did that though. I spent my 2.5 years. I spent 3 years at the university, 2.5 years at the university. So I went back to community college to pick up one class that was better to take to help me transfer. So there's those components. I would say if you are going to do this path, stay close to a counselor that can help you along the way, to make sure you're not going to add semesters of college by spending some of that time at community college first.
Now, people that have done your particular path, they find that sometimes they don't click with the students as quickly at the university level. Did you have any kind of experience like that?
I did not. I had a great experience of following my girlfriend and what became wife. It was my high school sweetheart. So I followed her kind of off to college. I was doing the community college thing, and she was, at Northern Illinois University starting that process. And I said, I'm jumping into this as well. This looks good path. But that helps with that transition a little bit. But I think going in, whether you're going into a campus at 18 or 20 or 25 or beyond, there are so many organizations and things on campus that you might be involved in, where I think that the socializing, whether that's through fraternities or sororities, or I joined the American Marketing Association when I was, going towards a marketing degree, met all sorts of people that way. So no, I don't think it's hard based on a college campus. Join clubs, and things like that.
Gotcha. So, so now you graduate from the university. How does one go from graduating the university to CEO, founder of Gift of College?
By complete accident. I would say I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I was in sales. I graduated, got a great job out of college, in professional sales, and worked into selling hardware and software to universities and colleges, and was really just enjoying my job and career, moving up the corporate path, on the sales end, if you will. And then one year I found myself in a toy store, staring at a bunch of things that I guess I was in a bad mood that day, because I love my nieces and nephews, and I normally try and get them something that will tick my sisters off. I'm the guy that like introduces the BB gun to the family. But this year I must have been in a bad mood. I just saw everything going in a garage sale, and we hear that a lot. We hear about the unneeded things, and I thought about my nieces and nephews, and they were at ages then where all of them were either going towards a path where they might go off to a college if they wanted to, but regardless of where they were in their family and financial situation, I knew college was super expensive. I knew college was getting even more expensive. So the idea of cool Uncle Wayne going out the window and I'll give him some money, they'll thank me later kind of thing turned into this many year endeavor of giftofcollege.com, which was just me standing at that toy store, leaving, saying, you know what, I'll give him money for college. I tried it. I learned for the first time what a 529 college savings plan is. And I think that's a huge problem is, 65% of Americans still don't know what a 529 college savings plan is. But I found out what one was. I tried to gift to it. It was difficult. I thought, well, they have gift registries for babies. They have gift registries for weddings. Why isn't there a gift registry for college? So that's what spun all that, trying to give a simple gift for the holidays into trying to change the college savings industry and bring more awareness to 529 plans, and that spun into this gift of college thing.
Wow. So give us a sense of what Gift to College is all about.
Sure. Fast forward to today, I'll say that I have a nephew, for example, that has graduated, went on and got a master's. He is living his dream at North Carolina State, where he is part of the NCAA football program as a coach. His dream is at the beginning of his dream stages. So I guess my point to all that, Anthony, is my nephew makes 25 grand a year and he has $120,000 in student loan debt.
Wow.
So that's what we're working on today, and that's what we work on at Gift of College. Gift of College helps Americans save and pay for college, and we do so by providing a crowdfunding for college site that lets friends, family, and companies contribute to the higher education process. And so what that means is friends and family can contribute to any 529 college savings plan, any 529 ABLE account, or any student loan account. You can contribute a few easy ways. So going back to when I was standing in that toy store, at Gift of College, you can go online. It's a gift registry. So nieces and nephews, loved ones, employees could have profiles set up where they've linked their 529 or their student loan. And then friends, family, Uncle Wayne, for example, can simply and easily online give a gift. We expanded that and brought the first ever Gift of College or first ever 529 and student loan gift cards to market. The joy of being an entrepreneur. It's a fun ride. We launched Gift of College gift cards in that very toy store I was standing in. It was Toys R Us stores across America. In 2017, we became Toys R Us's top selling gift card out of over 100 gift card brands. And in 2018, we all know Jeffrey the Giraffe passed away. So with that, here we are today. We're at walmart.com. We're at grocery stores, pharmacies, all sorts of different places where you can, again, back to Uncle Wayne's experience, pick up a gift card where it only goes to a student loan account or a 529 plan. And then Gift of College in late 2019, we launched an entire suite of employer benefits products. So Gift of College at Work helps employers really address student loan debt head on with an employee benefit of payroll deduction and employer matching, just like we see in retirement. That works to both 529 plans and student loan accounts, as well as our Gift of College gift cards, rewards and recognition programs, new baby programs, talent acquisition and retainment programs. And I'll say I am most excited. I feel we've brought some cool things to help more Americans save for college and address student loan debt, but I'm extremely excited about employers' involvement in this as a benefit. Employers' involvement in retirement, for example, starting in early 1980s, built what we know as our retirement system today. It's the introduction of how to save for retirement was brought to us by our employer. We need to do the same thing for 529 plans. To bring that awareness, we need to flip the awareness. We need to bring it from 65% of people unaware of a 529 plan to less than 35%. We need to flip that. But that will happen in the workplace. And what's cool is we're seeing employers of all sizes, 40,000 person financial institution, small banks, small law firms, manufacturing that are doing payroll deduction and some are matching into 529s. And now last year via the CARES Act, student loan contributions from employers is a tax deductible business expense from now until 2026. So now not only do we have this need and this product set, going, but we have a reason for employers to really jump in and get involved. So that's Gift of College in a nutshell, and what we're trying to do to essentially help my nephew out. I want to make it so there's less Jakes out there that are carrying around an anchor of debt for hopefully for this kid, not his whole life.
So now, how does it work with the employers? So do you have Fortune 100 companies on board? Do you have Fortune 1000 companies on board? And then how long does it take for the person in debt? How long does it take them to usually get out of it through an employee like that? Is it a lot shorter? Because student loans can go 20, 30 years before they pay it off.
Well, it's considerably shorter. So, every dollar that's coming beyond your contribution are dollars that's going to pay down that student loan account. Or what's neat about this is a benefit, or it could be going into a 529 plan to compound interest over many, many years to avoid student loan debt for the future. So then the employer's involvement is beyond, even the dollars. It's the impact of the awareness. It's bringing it through a systematic approach where it's coming directly out of your paycheck, especially on the savings side. You don't see it. That doesn't reach your hands. It goes directly in. There are studies that show 529 plans have a 75% greater account balance when they're hooked up to payroll deduction versus just hooked up to a checking or savings account. So bringing the employer that component to it is powerful. The match is extremely powerful, not only for that compound interest or paying down a student loan, but no employee really wants to leave money on the table. So we have employers with 2 employees. We have community banks with 150 employees. We have a gift card rewards and recognition program that runs with Alliance Data, which has thousands and thousands of employees. We do a 529 matching program on our gift cards with Morgan Stanley, who has 40,000 US based employees. So those companies of all sizes are really making an impact in some way, whether it's a community bank that's doing a student loan, $1,000 a year in student loan matching, because they know their employees are on an average of $250 a month in student loan debt, or whether it's, again, Morgan Stanley, really making a huge impact, increasing the number of their employees opening 529 plans and saving for college by bringing that match to the table. When student loan debt with some of our payroll deduction and matching clients, when student loans are matched, it often goes from single-digit participation rates in a program to 35% participation rate. And that speaks to the 47 million people that have a student loan.
Wow. So now, how do employers find you? How do students find you? How do families find you?
Yeah. So everybody finds us at the same place, giftofcollege.com. Employers have their own path, and right at the top, there's an employer button. Employers have their own path that they can go off and learn about Gift of College, learn what we bring to the table in terms of not just payroll deduction and matching and our gift card programs, but there's a little more to it. rolling out a program with your payroll provider. So how we do that, how we onboard that, how we streamline it, how we make it so an employer doesn't have to be involved in, hey, I'd like to change the amount of my payroll deduction. That's all automated through us. So all those things. We have an IRC 127 toolkit. And what that means is that's the toolkit you need to have, or that's the Internal Revenue Code plan in place, IRC 127 plan. You have to have in place as an employer to offer either tuition reimbursement to it or student loan contributions. So we have toolkits to help with that. And employers can all find that right off of giftofcollege.com. People in student loan debt, families saving for college, looking to get information to start 529 plans, can also go to giftofcollege.com, where we have the ability to start one of those profiles. We have the ability to start somebody off. You could buy a gift card right off of our site, among other retailers. And you can, again, learn about 529 plans right off of our homepage. There's a button, saving with a 529, where we have incredible resources of all 529 plans by state, different tools, financial aid calculators, college savings calculators, and different tools that are open and free for families to jump on and use. And all that again starts off right at giftofcollege.com.
Now, families that go in and set this all up for their students, um, do they do they pick 529 plans? Is there a whole list of 529 plans from across the country that
There
they
is.
can pick?
There is. So we're a registry for your existing 529 plan or your student loan. So if you don't have a 529 plan yet, we have great resources to learn about them. But once you've established your 529 plan, we have a drop down at Gift of College that lists all direct and advisor sold 529 plans. There's, I believe, 93 of them on the site today. There's over 40 ABLE plans, which are for Americans with a disability, saving for disability related expenses. And then we have over 50 student loan providers, which include everyone. It includes, all the federal student loan servicers to the private student loan providers as well.
Wow. And how many can the families pick? One, two, eight, 10?
So you set up your profile, and we have families that have multiple children, so you can set up a profile for more profiles within one account. So unfortunately, the reality of it is we have families that have multiple profiles set up for 529s for their children that also have profiles set up for their own student loan account. And
Wow.
that's the reality of the world we're living in. And kudos to some of those families for trying and making that, attempt at working down that debt and being cognizant to the idea that telling their children about a 529 plan and saving for it's going to make them 6 or 7 times more likely to go to college. So, but that balance is tough.
Yeah. Now, what is the average that a student goes through? Is it 20, 30 years right now for student loans that they end up with?
I would have to look up the average of how long someone carries one. I will tell you that today there's over $90 billion in student loan debt held by people over the age of 60.
Wow.
So the notion that people are going through this relatively quick process and getting out of this, and it's just part of going to college today. No, 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 no. This is a multi-generational economic crisis. People are not qualifying for home mortgages solely because of their student loan debt. They're not driving the economy, buying other things, getting married, having babies. All the things that we do in life are either getting delayed, put off, or changing, or in some cases not happening. And then one thing we don't talk about as much, which is extremely dangerous as the cost of college gets more and more, and we just borrow more and more for it. We're not saving for retirement. So participation in benefits plans for retirement is often very, very low. And when that's the case, it's because their employees are in student loan debt. And it's that balance.
Wow, that is amazing, and all of the great information that you gave to families. So we're coming to the end of our show. And usually I ask my guests, what advice do you want to give to the parents, the students? What advice do you want to give to them about gift of college?
Well, let's see. I'll give it, I guess, more general. For the students, make wise decisions. I think this is a your higher education can be a lifelong journey. Even if you end it at age 24, it could be a journey until just as I said, you're in your 60s and you're still paying off student loan debt. So make wise decisions. I consider my nudge from my family and my decision to going to community college, for me specifically at the time, for me, and it's not right for everybody. For me, that was a really good decision, and it was a good financial decision. So try and think about it in those aspects of the financial impact of this. Maybe do some of the math. Maybe look at some of the average student loan debt numbers and what the average person, somebody is paying for their student loan payment. If you were like me, you want a cool car. That was what we did when we graduated from college in the late 90s. It's like the first thing you did is you try to get a car. You're like, I want a car. Try and do that when your car payment is now called a student loan payment. So make good decisions. And for families, I would say don't delay. If I could give any good advice to families, do not delay. Compound interest is amazing. It only takes a little bit saved into a 529 plan, a college savings plan, a little bit out of every paycheck, a little bit deposited each month, over 18 years adds up, and it adds up to something considerable. Yeah, and I don't care where you go to college. You can go to the most expensive place on earth. You're still going to have saved something considerable, paying for books, helping for room and board. And often, if you do it right, and as you start to earn more money as a family and parents over the years and increase the amount you're putting in, you'll be surprised how quickly it'll add up and how quickly those years will go by. And you'll be like, oh, our kid's 14. Should we start saving for college? Don't do that. Please don't delay. And it's never too late. If you're already there, start saving now. But my advice for the families today would be save early and save often.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I really enjoyed it.
So you've been watching The Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva. Until next time.